Rupert is asking, how do you deal with abuse and threatening behaviour?
I think there's a stage where it's going to happen. I've been on doors where I've had that sort of sense of abusive part. Again, when I come back, I said to somebody, I really don't want to be an offence. It's different if the gospel is an offence. The gospel being an offence is something that's different, but I myself don't want to be an offence. The other part comes that the Bible says a gentle word drives away wrath. And I remember somebody who was incredibly aggressive and came to say to me, I said, can I ask you the question? Can I ask you a question? What's the real problem? And this guy melted and opened up to the real problem that was there. So I think there's a sense where sometimes it's right to retreat if it starts getting really aggressive, and pretty wise is that say, look, I'm not here to wind you up or chat with you, and we're going to leave. I've still got back to those people occasionally, but the other part I come back, that gentle word drives away wrath. It's a case of lowering the tempo and actually saying what's underneath some of that aggression that's there, that gives that person opportunity perhaps to say something more. But yeah, it's, of all the doors that slammed, so our first 8.5 years in Croydon, the first 5 years we knocked on doors, we saw no fruits. And all the doors that slammed, I prayed for those doors that slammed, because I met so many people. I'd go back to my wife Liz and say, I met people who'd be really, they'd make lovely Christians. They never came through to faith, the people I thought made lovely Christians. It was the rogues and the doors that slammed, they came through to faith. And I remember one of those, a guy whose door I'd knocked on for over 5 years, came once to our gospel service, and I prayed for the first time for 50 years, and here I am. He was the most aggressive guy on the door that slammed the doors. And at the end of the service, he was still looked really miserable. He came the next week, and the third week he was different. And I said, it's lovely to see you again on this third week you've come. You look different. He said, on Wednesday night, he said, I gave my heart to Christ and was able to baptize. He was in his 70s. But again, it was that going back and keeping a door that was open where I could. So, it takes time. Not everyone you win. I finish, sorry. There's others where you retreat thinking, Paul was stoned at Derby, he moved on in a sense, he was stoned and things like that. So it's take somebody with you as well. I would also say I've done lots of door work on my own, but genuinely I think the Bible is descriptive and prescriptive when Jesus sent them out in pairs. Sending people out in pairs makes more sense to me than anything else. I think that there's a part that's there. One person be praying and while you're talking, and just change that dynamic as well.